Alright, today we're going to be changing out the brakes on this F250 Super Duty. This caliper off, it's just two 16mm bolts. Next, let's get this bracket off. It's just two 21mm. So still really hard to push the pistons in, so it's going to be a caliper issue, so we're going to replace the caliper on this today as well. Next, let's get this old rotor off, so you got to pop this off. So we want to remove this cotter pin. Okay, take that little thing off. And then this nut shouldn't be that tight, so you'll take it off with some pliers. Be careful because this front bearing is going to want to pop out. So grab that washer and front bearing and take off the rotor. And then we want to get this back bearing and rear axle seal off. So you'll just screw the nut back on there. You want to kind of let it get caught on the nut like that, and then just be careful, but big ol' yank. Now you got the rear bearing.
It's also a good idea to clean off all that old grease.
Now you only need to do that if you're going to reuse the bearing and rotor, but I got a new rotor and new bearings. So next we need to pack the new bearings with grease. Important step that's going to help you out a lot is have plenty of rags, because this job, it gets messy. So anyways, take some grease, lay it on your hand like that, and you kind of just want to press it down and squish it in until grease starts coming in the top like this. Alright, I got this inner bearing all greased up, so we can just go ahead and place it in there like that. And then while my hands are all greasy, I just want to do the same thing to the outer one. And then I'll just place that to the side for now and change out my gloves. Okay, now all we gotta do is put this seal on the back side. Just kind of just line it up. Find something nice and flat like that. And then grab your hammer. Make sure it's nice and flush. Now, I should have done this when my gloves were all nice and greasy, but it's a good idea to grease up the new shaft. Then grab your heavy ass fucking rotor. Oh, my back! And then put it on. Like that. Make sure it doesn't fall. Oh, crap. Nope. Grab your new bearing or your old one that you re-greased. Line it up like that. Then grab your washer. And then last, grab your nut. Alright, now this is the tricky part. You're going to want to be spinning the rotor and kind of loosening and tightening the nut at the same time until you get a good feel. You want it to spin, but you don't want it to be dragging. So it spins, but not too much, and it doesn't drag too much. So that's what we're looking for. Then grab your nut cover, and then push the cotter pin through, and then you're done.
New caliper time. First, I disconnected the caliper from the bracket. Then you want to bolt up the bracket with those two 21mm. Make sure they're nice and tight. Grab the pads, put those on, throw on the caliper, and make sure those two bolts are nice and tight. And I actually changed out the hose on this and grabbed the buddy and bled the brakes.
And then let's just do the same thing to the other side. And now we can just throw the wheels back on, take it on a test drive, and make sure we don't got any weird noises.